What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Brandon with Campbell Fitness, and I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys MyFitnessPal. I know I've mentioned it numerous times that I'm a big fan of this site, as well as a lot of people have been putting out videos about this as well. So I thought I'd go ahead and just make one with a screen capture to walk you guys through actually joining up for the site and showing you some of the basics about it. So here we have the main page, which you'll be able to find linked in the description box below. I've also gone ahead and started to fill this out already, so when you first go to this web page, you can join right from the main page. All you need is a username, an email address, and a password, all of which are already put in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit join now. So once I do this, it's going to ask you to tell us about yourself. So let's just kind of fill some of these out as I would for myself. So right now I weigh just about 230 pounds. Now for this, you can have a goal weight if you're trying to gain or you're trying to lose. So I'm going to say my goal weight right now is going to be 220. I'm going to try to drop a little bit of the extra weight I'm carrying. My height is 6'4", and I am a male the last time I checked. My date of birth is actually going to be January 7th, and it is 1981, so I am an old man. And my zip code, in case you guys want to send me anything, is I'm sorry, that's my old address. Let's do 02882. So there we go. Now, how do I like to describe my normal activities? I'm going to go ahead and say I'm active. Again, this is going to vary depending on yourself. How many times a week do you plan on exercising? I'm going to say 5 for about 60 minutes per workout. Now the reason it does this is this actually customizes the diet for you depending on your lifestyle and depending on what you're trying to do. And you can play around with this later on, so if you ever make any changes or need to make any changes, it's easy to do so. So my goal is to lose 1 pound a week. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I suggest 1 to 1.5 pounds a week is what I suggest. You can do more or less than that, but I'm going to go ahead and do 1 pound. I'm then going to hit save and continue. So now it just talks more about this, about adding people. We're not going to do this. We're going to go ahead and just hit skip. So as is, based off the information I just inputted, it's going to go ahead and give me some nutrition goals. So my net calories goal is 2,550, my carbs, my fat, and my protein. Now looking at these numbers, anyone who's into the bodybuilding lifestyle knows this is a pretty low amount of protein. So I'm going to go ahead and change this down the road, but I just want to give you an overall view of what it looks like. Alright, so my projected weight loss is 1 pound a week, so that means I should lose 5 pounds by November 17th. Today is actually October 12th. So I'm going to go ahead and hit get started now. So here you go. Here's your main homepage. Whenever you log into MyFitnessPal, this is what you're going to see. It's going to tell you, this is what your calories are, this is your goal, this is how much food you've had so far today, which is 0, this is how many calories it's going to subtract due to the exercise you've input, and this is going to be your net calories. And a newsfeed summary, it's going to show you updates and all the like. So with this, the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and we're going to hit goals up top. Now on this we have our fitness goals, we have nutrition goals, fitness goals, our diet profile. I'm going to go ahead and change goals, and I'm going to go to custom set my goals and hit continue. Now what I can do is kind of play around with these numbers. So as you can see, this is how it breaks down what our macro should be. The custom as is 55% carbs, 15% protein, and 30% fat. Now personally, I'm a big fan of a split of 45, 35, and finally 20% for fat. So this means I'm going to aim to take in about 287 grams of carbs, 223 grams of protein, and 57 grams of fat. It also breaks this down further if you really want to get into it with your cholesterol, sodium, potassium, fiber, all that good stuff. I don't concern myself too much with those. My main concern right here are the macronutrients that I'm going to consume. It's also going to tell me how many calories burned per week, workouts per week, all of this, which again I can customize if I want. But I'm going to go ahead and change my goals. So now that that's all set up, you see my goals have been updated, I can go back to my home. Now when I do this on a daily basis and check in and want to log my food, I would go in here and I'd click log food. Now as of right now, this is set up to do breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Now if I wanted to, I could change these around. I could go into settings, and you can see right here we have meal names. So if I wanted to, I could do meal number 1, meal number 2, meal number 3, meal number 4, however many you wanted to do. I can also add in things such as post-workout, or if I wanted to, pre-workout. And then go ahead and select those changes, and now my diary settings have been updated. So now when I go back to my food diary, it's now changed to do meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4, and post-workout like I had mentioned. And at the bottom here it tells you your daily goal for calories, how many carbs you should have, how much fat, and how much protein. So let's say for post-workout, let's say I wanted to add some products in. Let's say, for instance, I took Metrex Ultramyosin Whey, because that's one of the products that I like to take as far as protein goes. I'm then going to go ahead and hit search for this. We then have some results already in here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and select Metrex 100% Ultramyosin Whey, and now we have some options right here. It says how much, 1 servings of 1 scoop, to which meal, post-workout. Now on some of these, what I would suggest first is go ahead and click on the nutritional info link on there, just to make sure that these numbers match up with the actual products you're taking. So this does match up, and that's fine. This data is accurate, so I can go ahead and add this to my food diary. Now when we do that, what we see right here in post-workout, we have the Metrex 100% Ultramyosin Whey, 1 scoop, 115 calories, and all the other macronutrients that make up that. That's now added to our daily totals, which takes off from our daily goal. So it tells us how many calories we have remaining, as well as how much carbs, protein, and fat that we can eat throughout the rest of the day. Now one of the real nice things about this is when we add food into these, let's say we put in something that we couldn't find. Alright, all we have to do is, let me just make something up. I'm going to say Campbell Fitness, whatever, and I'm just going to do a search for this. Now, some of this stuff on here, you'll actually see that has my turkey mini meatloaf recipe already in here, and all the nutritional info as well. If for some reason there isn't a food that you can find on here, you can go ahead and click on Add a Food to the Database. It's going to ask you what brand you have. So in this case, we'll just say Campbell Fitness. And in this case, for the food description, we'll go ahead and do our black bean tacos and hit continue. Once you do that, it's going to take you into a space where you can fill out all the nutritional information. And then once you input this information, you can go ahead and add it to your diary. And you can also select the option to let other members of MyFitnessPal access that as well. So what happens is it starts tracking this on a day-by-day basis, and over time you can go back and you can go forward. Now let's say also we finished all our meals for the day, we're done eating. We can go ahead and hit complete this entry, and it's going to say right here, if every day were like today, you'd weigh 200 pounds in 5 weeks. So it gives you a little bit of a brief update about where you stand on this. You can also add in other things like water consumption, any kind of food notes you may have. There's a lot of options you have with this site. So that's the basics of MyFitnessPal. Every day you're going to want to log in, you're going to want to put in what foods you've had and whatnot. One of the nice things about this site is there's also a mobile app for both Android and iPhones that you can do this over your phone. Also, as you start to really customize and familiarize yourself with this application, once you start going back to adding food each day in meals, you'll have this quick reference guide of food that you normally eat. So if you're consistently eating grilled chicken or something like that, it'll auto-populate for you already, so you don't have to do a search for it every time. So it makes it much easier. You can also change the quantities here. Let's say you had 2 scoops or 3 scoops, or there's different serving size, so 1 whole container. Alright, wouldn't that be nice? So it's really customizable and easy to use. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is show you my own personal one, just so you get a brief idea. So I'm going to log out of this account. Alright, so here we have my actual MyFitnessPal for my personal use that I've been using for months now. You'll see my calories remaining for the day right there is a little over 2,000. If I jump in here, you'll see I've already entered meal number 1. Now the way I like to split this up is have just 6 meals laid out. I'll tend to add in pre and post workout just into whatever particular meal I'm at for the day. Now what I'm going to do here, one of the nice things about this is if you're consistent with it, you can jump back in time and see exactly what you ate. So I'm going to jump back here to a point in August just to take a look at to see what I was doing. At this point in time I was bulking, so when I scroll down here you're going to see some of my intake goals here. I'm actually going to be about close to 3,500 calories. Now the one big thing I have with MyFitnessPal that I see as a problem is your daily goals is reflected currently. So my daily current goals are 2,800, which it shows here, so it shows that I'm way over my goals for this day. However, when the actual time was happening when I was doing this, my daily goals were much, much higher and actually hit my macros for the day. So that's the one real big complaint I have. But other than that, MyFitnessPal can be a great tool for you guys for both monitoring and helping you diet and reach your daily goals and intake and let you know exactly how much you're eating. So hopefully this helped you out. I'll do a couple more of these tutorials down the line. As always, everybody, thanks for watching. Stay big.